You ever wonder if all your coworkers thought you were a decent human being, but they still give you the name the Grim Reaper? Well, today we're going to go over Gregory Scarpa.
Ladies and gentlemen of all ages, boys and girls, thank you for tuning in to yet another episode of Angry Meat Production. We appreciate you coming in and letting us be a part of your lives week in and week out. We hope to do our best to present you with something that your eardrums delight in. Whether you're looking at us on YouTube or Rumble, or listening to us on Spotify, Google, or Anchor, or any of the other podcast services that we are currently on or trying to get on. We thank you. And if you don't mind, at the end of every episode, stop by, leave us a comment, leave us a like. If it asks for 5 stars, we'll take 5 stars, even if you don't like us. 5 stars are what it's all about. With that being said, we hope you enjoy our attempt to make our advocation our vocation. Ladies and gentlemen, let the games begin. We here at Angry Me Production want to thank our sponsor, Mobile Notary Mindy. She's certified with the National Notary Association. She's also bonded and E&O insured. She offers a wide range of services including wills, powers of attorney, medical documents, healthcare proxies, living wills, certification of trust, assignment of personal property, HIPAA waivers, advanced healthcare directives, and 99 verification. You can find her on Facebook, TikTok, and Instagram at Mobile Notary Mindy. You can also visit her webpage at texasmobilenotarymindy.com. That's TX, mobilenotarymindy.com. Thank you so much and enjoy the show.
Welcome, Angry Faithful. Yes, today we're going to go over another mafia person from the Colombo crime family. He was a American choreographer. Oh, a capo. I know what a capo is, man. And he was a hitman from the 1970s to the 80s. So let's begin. Scarpa was born to first generation immigrants, Salvatore and Mary, from a small village of. Wow. We're gonna let Stephen Hawking have this one. I'm getting a little bit.
Lorenzago of Mata di Livenza near Treviso, Italy.
Yeah, I can't even repeat that. Anyways, he was raised in a working class neighborhood of Budaresh in Brooklyn. As a child living in the Great Depression, Scarpa helped his father deliver coal throughout New York City. His older brother, Salvador Scarpa, may have introduced Gregory to the Colombo crime family, which he reportedly joined in 1950s. In the 1950s, Scarpa married Connie Forrest. She and Scarpa had one daughter and 3 sons, including Gregory Scarpa Jr., who would follow in his father's footsteps in the Colombo crime family, eventually becoming a capo. Now, a capo is basically like I already said, a made member of an Italian crime family. And what a lot of people don't understand about other, what do you call it? I've talked about this on with somebody else, but a lot of families like pull their money together to like get businesses and whatnot. It's not unheard of in most other families in like Europe and Middle East and Asia. It's unheard of in America. So what they do is the family has like a pot of money that every family member puts in, and then as soon as that pot gets big enough, they can go out and actually afford a big business. Now, that's actually good planning and everything to make like a good family business. But then you have something like this, which you have a crime family. The family part is basically they have that pot, and once you become part of that family, it's hard to get that money back. But in the 1950s, eventually it became okay. Scarpa and Forrest separated in 1973. Scarpa also maintained a 30-year relationship with Scarpa girlfriend Linda Scarro, which resulted in 2 children, Joseph and Linda. Scarpa was a stylish dresser who routinely carried $5,000 for pocket money for purchases and bribes. He had used in an apartment in Manhattan, Sutton. I think it's Sutton.
Sutton.
Oh, Sutton. Sutton Palace, and owned homes in Brooklyn and Staten Island, as well as Las Vegas, Nevada, Stinger Island, Florida. His power and gluttony and brutality eventually gave him the nickname the Grim Reaper, and helped him escape prosecution for many years. Scarro later said that the Scarpa Linda, we'll just say Linda. Linda later said that Scarpa would sometimes leave the number 666, a biblical number of the beast, on his victim's pager. A career criminal, Scarpa eventually became a capo in the Colombo crime family, as well as the proprietor of Whippy Boys Social Club. What is that? I'm kind of curious. Let me see here. Oh, it's a cafe. Castronata History. Once had the Capo family. Okay. Wimpy Boys Social Club. Oh, that. I guess it doesn't exist anymore. It's from the pictures. It's all closed up and everything. Let me show you this real quick. And if you're just watching, then sorry, or listening, it looks like an abandoned building. It's right next to Parkway Restaurant and General Cosmetics Dentistry. Let me back out of here a little bit more. But it's over by 75th Street. It's over by a crispy pizza. I guess it's 11th Avenue and 75th Street. The actual address of the Wimpy Boys Social Club is 7506 13th Avenue, Brooklyn, New York. I guess that's 13th. Okay. Anyways, let us continue. Scarpa was also involved in illegal gambling, loan sharking, extortion, hijacking, counterfeit credit cards, and assault, stock and bond thefts, narcotics and murder. Stock and bond theft. That's an original one I haven't heard of in a long time. Many of the highest ranking members of the Colombo family today were members of Scarpa's crew. In March 1962, Scarpa was arrested for armed robbery. To avoid prosecution, Scarpa agreed to work as an undercover informant for the FBI, beginning a 30-year relationship with the agency. In the summer of 1964, according to Linda and other sources, FBI field agent in Mississippi recruited. How did he get through the story? FBI field agent in Mississippi recruited Scarpa to help him find missing civil rights worker Andrew Goodman, James Counting, and Michael Schwarzner. Yeah, Schwarzner. The FBI was convinced the three men had been murdered, but couldn't find the bodies. The agents sought out Scarpa using illegal interrogation techniques not available to the agency. Might succeed at gaining this information from the suspects. When Scarpa arrived in Mississippi, local agency allegedly provided him with a gun and money to pay for information. Scarpa and an agent allegedly pistol whipped and kidnapped Lawrence Byrd, a TV salesman and secret Klansman, from his store in Laurel, and took him to Camp Shelby, a local army base. At Shelby, Scarpa severely beat Byrd and struck a gun barrel down his throat. Byrd finally revealed to Scarpa that the locations of the three men's body. The FBI has never officially confirmed the Scarpa story, though not necessarily contracted the claims of Scarpa's involvement in the matter. Investigative journalist Jerry Mitchell and Illinois high school teacher Barry Bradford claimed that Mississippi Highway Patrolman Maynard King provided the grave location to FBI agents Joseph Sylvia after obtaining the information from an anonymous third party. In January 1966, Scarpa allegedly helped the FBI in a second time in Mississippi on a murder case of Vernon Dahmer, killed in a fire set by the Klan. After the second trip, Scarpa and the FBI had a sharp disagreement about the reward of these services. The FBI then dropped Scarpa as a confidential informant. In 1980, the FBI agent Lauren DeVacchio became Scarpa's contact and handler and restarted his relationship with the FBI. Scarpa had refused contact with the FBI for previous 5 years, but DeVacchio persuaded him to cooperate again. Georgie Jr. Sciario, a federal prosecutor, later claimed that Scarpa had numerous illegal dealings with DeVacchio. Scarpa allegedly provided DeVacchio with cash, jewelry, and other gifts, along with information questionable value on the Colombos. In return, DeVacchio allegedly protected Scarpa from arrest and provided him with information about the rivals between the Third Colombo War. Now, this is actually not unheard of. The FBI actually getting people from like crime families and everything. Whitey Berger was another one that they did that. Whitey Bulger. Okay, there we go. But Whitey Berger was another one that they did that with. I don't remember the movie. What was the movie's name? With Johnny Depp. Black Mass. That's what it was. Name was Black Mass. James Whitey Bulger. But anyways, back to the story. Over the years, the FBI paid Scarpario $158,000 for his services, according to a mob associate. He would joke about girlfriend, a female friend in law enforcement who gave him information. For 10 years, Stephen Hawking, give me a hand. DeVacchio. Okay. Met alone with Scarpa, often in an apartment or hotel room provided by the FBI. DeVacchio was frequent dinner guest at Scarpa's house, and on one occasion received hard-to-find Cabbage Patch doll from Scarpa as a gift. Time frame in the 80s, Cabbage Patch dolls were, unlike now, to where almost everything is mass-produced on a scale that's unfathomable. And I haven't really done anything on like the toy size, what's popular and everything in a long time. I mean, the last thing I remember being popular for Christmas was Tickle Me Elmo. That's how old I am. Or hard to find. Some of man, I had to do it again. DeVecchio's fellow angel was stirred by his closeness to Scarpa, and soon reporting it to their FBI superiors. In 1985, federal prosecutor indicted Scarpa for running a major credit card scam. After he pleaded guilty, prosecutors asked the court to give him a sizable fine and a prison sentence. However, DeVecchio submitted a memo to the judge that listed all of Scarpa's contribution, because man's word's not working right now.
Contributions
to the FBI, and the judge final sentence Scarpa 5-year probation with no prison time and a $10,000 fine. Colombo members were so surprised by Scarpa's light sentence that some started wondering if he was working for the government. After having emergency ulcer surgery at the Victoria Memorial Hospital in Brooklyn in 1986, Scarpa received several blood donations from family members and associates. Scarpa's had refused bloods from the hospital blood bank. Scarpa eventually got blood from a mobster, Paul Mealy, a bodybuilder who's using injectable antibiotic steroids. Mealy had contacted HIV from a dirty needle and transmitted it to Scarpa in the blood transfusion. Surgeons in the Mount Sinai Hospital in Manhattan eventually removed Scarpa's stomach. Wow, they removed his stomach. Okay, wow, okay. On August 30th, 1992, he received a $300,000 settlement in the civil court for the first surgery and the Victoria Hospital for negligence. As Scarpa's illness progressed to AIDS, he and his relatives told everyone that he was suffering from cancer. In 1991, supporters of the Colombo Rebellion and acting boss Vito Ornino. God, I watch so many mafia movies, I can't get these names right. Ornana attempted to kill Scarpa early in 1991. A struggle between Ornana and the Prince Colombo boss Carmine Percio. I think it's Persico resulted in violence. Persico's loyalists had unsuccessfully attempted to kill Ornano at his Brooklyn home. In retaliation, Ornano decided to murder Scarpa, one of Persino's strongest supporters. On November 18th, 1991, Scarpa was driving his own car in Brooklyn, followed by his 22-year-old daughter, Linda, and 8-month-old grandson. When he was stopped by two cars, the hitman ran into from their vehicles with guns drawn and covered the Scarpa car, but Scarpa managed to drive away from the ambush, crashing into anything that got in his way. So basically, he was hitting a lot of stuff. A few bystanders were injured, but Scarpa and his relatives escaped unharmed. During the 7-month conflict between Persico and Ornina, Scarpa served as Persico's military commander. Although weakened by illness, he constantly cruised along Avenue U in Brooklyn, looking for Ornino supporters in social clubs and bars. Incentivized by the murder attempt on his family, Scarpa was especially watchful for Ornino loyalist William Coletto, who organized it. Over the next few weeks, Scarpa and his associates mistakenly killed Genovese family mobster Thomas Amanto and Ornina loyalist Rosaria. I'm just gonna Stephen Hawking's help me out with this.
Rosario Nastasa, Vincent Fusaro, and James Malpizzo.
Scarpa shot Ferruzzo as he was hanging Christmas lights on his house. That's gotta be a horrible freaking way to die. Going out, hanging your trees. Anyways, in 1992, Scarpa's AIDS lawsuit was settled with $300,000 in cash payments to the family. In 1992, while appearing in New York civil courtroom, for his medical lawsuit, Scarpa was arrested for violating state firearms laws. Soon after, he was indicted on federal racketeering charges involving 3 murders. On December 29th, 1992, while under house arrest with an electronic monitoring device, Scarpa lost an eye in a shootout with other mobsters. 2 Lorsini's family mobsters, Michael De Rosa and Ronald Moran, had threatened Joey Scarpa, Gregory's son, over a drug deal. After crawling out of bed, the elderly Scarpa drove with Joey to De Rosa's house and shot De Rosa. Moran fired back and hitting Scarpa in the eye. Back in his house, Scarpa allegedly poured some Scotch whiskey in his wound. Dude, that's some grit stuff. That's some grit. I'm not going to do anything. We're just going to put some whiskey in it. Whiskey into his wounds, assuring the authorities everything was fine. Later went to the hospital. Prosecutors revoked Scarpa's house arrest and sent him to jail. By 1993, Scarpa was blind in one eye, emasculated, and in an extreme in a state of extreme thinness from absence of body fat and muscle weight. Wasted away. Basically, he was in poor health. On May 6, 1993, he pleaded guilty to 3 murders and conspiracy to murder several others. On December 15, 1993, Scarpa was sentenced to life in federal prison. This sentence was later reduced to 10 years due to Scarpa's poor health. On June 4th, 1994, Gregory Scarpa Sr. died in a federal medical center for prisoners in Rochester, Minnesota from AIDS-related complications. And the aftermath. Scarpa's status as an informer was only revealed in 1995 during a racketeering and murder trial on 7 members of the I'm butchering this name horribly. Ornana faction. At this time, former Colombo family conciliere Camarsosa, now a government witness, told prosecutors about the Oficio's corrupt dealings with Scarpa. Eventually, prosecutors were forced to reveal that Oficio might reveal confidential information, including information about the former Colombo member who had turned informant to Scarpa. Ultimately, 19 Ornino's supporters had murdered charges thrown out or murder convictions reversed after the attorney's content with, I'm going to have to Stephen Hawking. DeVacchio's collaboration with Scarpa, tainting the evidence against them. The attorneys argued that DeVacchio gave Scarpa information he used to kill members of Ornino faction, thus making any killings committed by their clients an act of self-defense. Oh, that's good. They have some good lawyers. Because if it's an act of self-defense, they can get away with it. On March 30th, 2006, DeVacchio, who was forced to retire from the FBI in 1996, was indicted on charges of complacency with Scarpa and other Colombo mobsters in the 4 murders during the 1980s and 1990s. The government case resided on the testimony of Linda Sicario, who was soon discredited as a witness after Tom Robbins of the Village Voice revealed she had granted an interview to Robbins and Jerry Caspasi. Man, I am horrible. I shouldn't be this horrible at Italian names.
Capisci.
Capisi. A decade later, and denied the agent had ever been involved. Robinson said that while he and Caspi had promised to protect Sherman's identity and not attribute any of her revelations to her, the prospect of Villacchio facing life imprisonment trumped any promises they had made to Linda. On November 1st, 2007, the judge dismisses all charges against Villacchio at the request of prosecutors. Scarpa's other son, Greg Scarpa Jr., was sentenced to 40 years in prison for racketeering, conspiracy to commit murder, and other charges. Now, there is actually a couple books about this guy, Mafia's son, the Scarpa mob family, the FBI, and the story of betrayal by Sarah Harmon. And the July 2013 book, Dealing with the Devil, the FBI secret 30-year relationship with Mafia's killer by Peter Lance. 60 Minutes did a episode. What? Okay. 60 Minutes did an episode of Armstrong, the FBI, and the Grim Reaper. Okay. Yeah. Okay. They were reporting on Lance Armstrong, the cyclist, and the second half was the FBI and the Grim Reaper. Examples of FBI agent Lynn DeVaccio ties the informant and Gregory Scarpa. Season 43 at episode 34, runtime 8 minutes. Okay. But anyways, yeah. Oh, okay. In the 1988 film Mississippi Burning, the character Agent Monk, played by
Baggiola.
Badgie DeJola. You know, I'm kind of wondering what he looks like. Probably once I've. Okay, yeah, I know who he is. Okay. Anyways, and his abduction of a Klansman were based on Scarpa and his alleged abduction and intimidation of the Klansman. The doctor of the. So basically, the Mississippi burning book was vaguely part of this story, which is kind of strange. Well, reading that, I was thinking that. I was like, huh, is it? This sounds like Mississippi burning. But anyways, yeah, this is another quick episode. I'm almost done. I think next week I'll do. I will do next Saturday. Will be probably the first part of Joseph Stalin. It is probably going to be mostly Stephen Hawking doing most of it, talking about it. But it is long drawn out. He is a true psychopath, and a lot of stuff that I realized while doing it and looking towards stuff is he. We'll get into that when we get into the episode. It's really fascinating. A lot of stuff I've been finding out. It's really strange and makes a lot of sense, especially during the stuff during World War II. But anyways, thank you all for listening. Thank you all for watching. Goodbye.